Join with me for a 15-minute meditation and allow the words that I speak to be the words of your own heart. As I relax and breathe into this moment, the full awareness of the oneness with Spirit is right here with me. I know there is only one source, nearer than my hands and feet. It is every aspect of me, and yet it is so much more. It is the source of everything. It is ever unfolding. It is all goodness, grace, and love. It is pure potentiality. It is all wisdom. And it is from this place that I am so thankful. I give constant thanks, for I know the best is yet to come. And yet I am living my best life ever right now. Day after day, I feel Spirit at one with me, and all my good and perfect gifts are available to me in this moment. I am surrounded by all the best in life. So I open my eyes and I choose to see my wonderful life. And I realize how amazingly blessed I am. I choose to see the positive aspects of my life today. I choose to focus on that which I want to see grow. I cease concentrating on the negative things in my life, and I concentrate on the wonderful things, for I know they are coming into reality. As I concentrate on the wonders and beauty and the grateful things in my life, even more is drawn to me. That is my point of power. I see the miracles of life, and I realize that I am part of all that is, and that I live and move and have my being within this amazing field of pure potentiality that I call God. I make a habit today of approaching life with the right mind, with the right thoughts. I am joyous. I am expectant. I have absolute faith that only the very best is for me. Over and over again, I hear the still small voice that says, I want only the best for you. So today I choose to allow only the best. I choose to be number one. I deserve it. I am worthy. Today I choose to think in a wholehearted way rather than a half-hearted way. I choose a new way of being and thinking. I know that Spirit wants all the best that I could ever possibly hold and have. So today I allow it. Today I have learned to put first things first in my life. All the very best is mine now. I know that as I do this, I give others the permission to do it as well. I choose to leave worrying for others. I know the how is up to Spirit. I know that God can. So I choose to accept and allow and have faith. I know where my faith and belief is. It is in my oneness with Spirit. It is in the knowledge that Spirit is all there is. I know my security lies in the supportive, loving embrace of the universe. Today I choose to get my values straight. Today I use meditation to see clearly how I am supported by the universe. Today I find the perfect balance in life. I raise my consciousness to greater heights. I live a wonderful life every day, connected to Spirit, in the flow. I know the kingdom of heaven is within me. It is waiting for me to recognize it. I know this to be true. I believe it. I see it in my everyday life. I know the kingdom of heaven is a state of mind. I know it is within me. I choose to open myself up to see even more of how I am connected, how my life can be heaven today. I know I can bring about anything I really desire. My every desire is of the very highest and best for me. And I know that what is good for me also benefits everyone else. I choose the desires that are the highest and best for everyone concerned. Every day I learn to control and discipline my thinking. I know that I have achieved a lot already, and I am a student of life. I continue to get better and better in my thinking. I choose to move forward with a clear intention to persevere and to be patient. I celebrate my successes. I know that every day, a little bit more, I am able to control and discipline my every thought, word, and deed. And I bring about the most wonderful results in my life. I am working with the law of the universe. I am in the flow. I am a walking miracle, or as I like to say, a walking natural. Today I have a deep desire to make it work. I have the faith and belief that it can work. And I have a definite vision in my consciousness. I see it working out step by step. And then I release it to Spirit to bring it to me in my highest and best. I start right now to do everything that has to be done. And I have the right attitude. And I see what happens. I see everything working out in true perfection. And I always give thanks. I know that gratitude keeps the door wide open. I know that gratitude enables more and more to work out in my life. My life is filled with joy. I know the universe always says yes to me. I count my blessings every day. I know how amazingly blessed I am, and I give thanks. I know that gratitude works like magic in my life. I have seen the transformation in my life and continue to see it every day. I know that life is indeed what I make it. And because of this, my whole attitude is always looking for the best in every situation. I am a real optimist. I am a realist. I have proved it for myself, and I expect the very best in everything I undertake. I know that I can do it perfectly, for what is mine to do is always in front of me for me to choose it. So today I look at my life and see where I need to change. Now I am willing to change. I'm willing to change my thinking, my behavior, my attitudes, to allow for my best life to unfold. I learn to change, and I change quickly. I choose to move forward with clear intention. And I know that every change is indeed for the very best. So I relax and I let go, and I let Spirit take over. For I know that I am in the flow of the universe. I know that it is already done, and so it is. Good morning, everyone. So great to see you here. Welcome to Unity Online as we live stream yet again with Emilio Zaras and I, Reverend Anna Hokangas, and we look forward to bringing you the best that we can bring you on a Sunday morning. So Emilio is going to start with a fabulous song, Love is My Decision by Daniel Nahmod.
Please join me in singing. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Beautiful. Thank you. Are you ready to do the next one?
Yes.
Yes, God, I believe.
Yes, God, I believe. Will this day I be a blessing? Will this year be better than the last? Will I calm the voice that hounds me? Discard the demons of the past? Will I step out of my faith now? Live the truth I've come to know? Throw my dreams into the river? Help these four words, let them flow. Singing, yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Sing it with me now. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Maybe it's a body that needs healing, a relationship that's worn, or a child that is in trouble. There's a friendship that's been torn, and here's a job that needs new vision, a bank account that needs relief. I don't have to tell you all my problems, I just gotta rest in your belief, singing, yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Sing it with me now. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. I believe in your goodness. I believe in your grace. I believe that your power is flowing through me in this space. For you've given me guidance, and you gave me desire, and you would not have set this flame in my heart if I could not start a fire. So yes, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Oh, God, I believe. Yes, I believe. Sing it with me now. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. Yes, God, I believe. One more time, here we go. Yes, God, I believe. 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 Yes, God, I believe.
Yes, God, I believe. Join with me in consciousness as I say this prayer of intention, knowing there is really only one thing going on here. The source, essence, divine, the absolute, God, the infinite field of pure potentiality. And it is being me right here, right now. And yet it is so much more. It is absolute power, and it is what creates my life. And so it's from this place, as I believe, it is done unto me. And so today I open up my heart, I open up my mind to have my consciousness be filled with even more of the good that's available to me. I follow my bliss today, and my bliss is God. It feels so good. I feel so grateful. I release knowing it is already done, for I feel it inside me. Please join with me in saying, and so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. there is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, I would go inside and quiet my mind, and I'd hear spirits say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only, there is only love.
Emilio, we are so blessed to have you here singing live for us every Sunday. It is so fantastic. Let's give him a round of applause. He is just so fabulous and so willing to be here, and it has just been my absolute joy. So please join with me in the daily word. The word today is faith. I invest my faith only in possibilities for good. The parable of the talents in the Gospel of Matthew tells the story of a wealthy man entrusting sums of money to 3 of his servants before leaving on a journey. When the man returns and praises and rewards the 2 servants who, through wise investments, have doubled the funds entrusted to them, a 3rd servant, who, acting in fear, hid the money entrusted to him, receives no reward. The divine faculty of faith that is part of my spiritual inheritance is more valuable than money. I invest my faith wisely by believing and trusting that possibilities for good are present, even where good has not yet manifested, and I act on that belief. My positivity-directed faith brings rich rewards in consciousness. You have been trustworthy in a few things. I will bring you in charge of many things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master, Matthew. So the Bible really tells us that we've been given all these opportunities. It's a matter of taking charge and doing those things that are ours to do. Great reminder. This year, we're focusing on Perfect Vision 2020, seeing through a spiritual lens. And we're really being given that opportunity as life and the world as we once knew it has changed so radically. And really, one of the only things for me that has helped me get through this time is my faith. And I would imagine that you're feeling very much the same way. I was communicating with someone this week about how she had not been doing her spiritual practice quite as regularly for a number of reasons. Life just got too busy. And in reconnecting with her spiritual practice, the readings, the meditation, the prayer, that somehow, even though life seemed so burdensome, that it seemed lighter and better. And so I invite you to up your spiritual practice, because it really does make a difference. The path made clear. So today, we're going to focus on following your bliss. What is that? How do you find it? And how do you follow it? So our first area that we're going to look at is go within and listen and find the answer. Then we're going to look at court the presence. And the third is have faith in the activity of spirit. So are you ready? Go within and listen and find the answer. And that's part of that spiritual practice. I don't know about you, but in the early days of doing meditation, for instance, I would meditate, and I'd be waiting for, I don't know, the big gong or some big answer to come booming in. And often it was really more a gentle nudge, a leaning into an idea, a soft little whisper that was actually really easy to discount, to ignore. And sometimes it was a little louder than that, and it didn't come in meditation, it came in my everyday life. So I came to this I'll say phraseology. Spirit whispers, then it talks, and then it yells. My husband Randy calls it the cosmic 2x4 when it's yelling. And the thing is that when you are on this spiritual path, and if you happen to fall off the spiritual path, one of the things that happens is that spirit will start talking to you, as in the things that you need to be aware of become a little more noticeable. And then sometimes it has to yell to get my attention. I don't know about you, but it's because I've made this commitment to know how life works and to work in alignment with it, to allow it to bring out the best in me, and for me to be the hands and feet of it in the world, whatever that means. So follow your bliss. You know, it was Joseph Campbell, I think, who came up with this term, follow your bliss. And I remember hearing Deepak Chopra actually use the word bliss a lot too, and I really didn't know what that meant. What does it mean for you when I say follow your bliss? The phrase that I learned from my husband when I first met him was, what makes your heart sing? And that really is the same as follow your bliss. So when you follow what makes your heart sing, then you start to really have the kind of life that you're meant to live. The thing is that there's a lot of things that can get in the way. And one of them is that you need to first face your deepest fears. What happened? Did something happen? Okay. My internet provider and videographer just went, uh-oh, and I'm not sure what quite happened. So we're looking at facing your deepest fears. What are they and why do they get in the way? Well, the thing is that if that's the top of your mind, is the things that you're afraid might happen, or your attitude about something, then it's going to get in the way of you being able to be blissful. Does that make sense? So for instance, the idea of I'm not enough or never will be. How can you be open to great possibilities, even to a compliment, if you feel you're not good enough and never will be? So if someone says, wow, you look fabulous today, or what a great air you have about you, or what a beautiful outfit you're wearing. And many of us who feel we're maybe not enough will say, oh, this old thing, or really, like I slept so poorly last night, or, you know, we have this way of showing that what really is in the top of our mind is I'm not enough and never will be. Or maybe it's I'm never going to amount to anything. So you get these ideas bubbling up like, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should do that, or oh, this would be kind of fun. But a voice in your head says, what's the point? I'm never going to amount to much. This isn't going to bring me anything, and why waste my time doing that? Or how about this one? Who am I to make something of myself? Just little old me from a lumber camp in Northern Ontario. Who am I to make something of myself? Who am I to think that I have anything to offer anyone? And those would be thoughts that I could have had, and I chose to trust that I'm in this position and in this place and given this opportunity to share what I believe is the truth about how life works. And thankfully, you're there listening and giving me feedback.
So who are you to make something of yourself? You're you. You're the perfect you. Nobody else can be the perfect you but you. And so as you let go of these fears, these negative thoughts about yourself, then the opportunities and the feelings within start to arise on what that might be for you. How about this one? It'll never get better, and it will always be this way. Let's say you're stuck in a horrible marriage or in a situation that just isn't great, but it's been going on for so long. So you figure, well, might as well just settle in. I made my bed, I'm going to sleep in it. The thing is that God does not expect you to be the way that you used to be. God is always open and receptive, and love is always open and receptive. You can reinvent yourself and your story right now. It doesn't have to always be this way, because it can get better. And the thing is that life does get better when we expect it to. So are you ready to expect it to? These very thoughts are the things that are holding you back, that are not allowing you to have your full experience of the God of your understanding, whatever that might be. And it's very different for me than it is for my husband Randy, that it is for Emilio. We all have our own experience of what that is, and it has come from our own personal experiences. And so in the willingness to just step forward in faith, and there's a great book I think written called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, is sure, maybe be a little uncomfortable with how confident you are, but step ahead in faith anyways and see what happens. Your darkest fears are the lessons to learn. And what lessons are those? Not that the fear will be fulfilled, but that fear is actually a paper dragon, or that it's not ever nearly as bad as you thought it would be. Think about some of the things you've survived up to this point. And in the middle of it, I'm sure you thought, there is no way I'm going to see my way through this. And yet, here you are. You're breathing, you're smiling. Come on, smile. Yes. You're smiling, you're happy, you're comfortable. Maybe you're in your jammies just having a great time and a great cup of coffee. The thing is that your darkest fears are the lessons to learn, and it doesn't mean you have to go through them. It just means that they're an opportunity to look at, what am I afraid of? Why am I afraid of it? And am I still really truly afraid of it? And what's the worst that can happen? It will stay the same, or if you let go, it might actually be really a relief, like taking off a tight shoe. You are not separate from your fears. They are part of you, and they must be faced. And so the question is how? And that's probably why we don't approach our fears from the standpoint of letting them go, because we look at them as these entities that are outside of ourselves. And yet they are part of our consciousness. And there's no trick to it. How do you release your fears? You decide to release them. And it may not happen overnight. It may be like exercising a muscle, where it takes a while to build up the stamina. The same thing with releasing your fears, to maybe make a list of the things that you're afraid of, and every day say, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better as I am willingly, easily releasing these fears. Courting the presence. I like this term, courting the presence. It's sort of like schmoozing, having a date with God. How to be able to have a relationship with the divine in a way that's perfect for you, for me, for all of us. Remember the movie Empire Strikes Back? We just watched that again, and you know, it's a modern day film, but it really is the story of how we can court the presence. And so there's Luke Skywalker and there's Yoda. And Luke Skywalker has Yoda as his mentor. So Luke says, Master, moving stones around is one thing. This is totally different. Now he's talking about Yoda has kind of raised the bar as he's teaching him how to use his mind to control his life. And so he has him moving stones around. And now he's asked him, I believe it was a ship or something that was buried in the mud. And he asked him to use his mind to raise the ship out of the mud. And Luke says, you know, moving little rocks around is no problem, but this is too much. And Yoda goes, no different, only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned. And the thing is that when we were unconscious, each of us at some point in our lives, or we just believed when someone said, no, you can't do that, or I tried and it didn't work for me, you believed them. The thing is that you must unlearn that. You must do your own spiritual work so that you can learn a new experience, so that you can prove to yourself that Spirit does say yes, and that there is this power that you can use that is the spiritual power that resides within you that can do infinite possibilities. The only limit is you. So Luke says, Master, moving stones around is one thing. This is totally different. No different, Yoda says, only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned. Are you ready to unlearn what you have learned? Luke says, I can't, it's too big. Yoda says, size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? Remember, Yoda was just this tiny little character. And he's referring to the idea that Luke has this perception that if it's big, that it's overwhelming and that he can't do it. So Yoda says, for my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. You must feel the Force around you, here between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. And what he's referring to, he uses the word the Force. I use the divine, the absolute, Spirit, God, infinite field of pure potentiality. And that it is the powerful ally. It's an ally because it's always there supporting you, whether you know it or not. You know the poster with the footprints in the sand, and what was the saying about Lord? At sometimes I was walking alone because there's only one set of footprints, and God responds something to the tune of, well, I was carrying you at that time. God is that kind of an ally. And its energy is what surrounds us, what binds us. And it's when you feel the Force, when you have your own personal experience of the God of your understanding, that it starts to show up more and more in your life. It's not that it hasn't been there, but you can very easily close your eyes and close your experience to it because you've chosen to. So choose not to. Choose to experience God in whatever way is perfect for you. Luke, you want the impossible, he says, because yet again, he's not really getting it. And I mean, I've been at that point in my spiritual journey where I have prayed and I've prayed and I've prayed. The thing is that my prayer was in my head. It wasn't connected to the Spirit within. And it was when I had that aha moment that the Spirit within showed up in a way that was pretty awesome. Luke, I don't believe it, he says, as he sees Yoda. Yoda has used his mind and he's raised this ship out of the muck. And Yoda says, that is why you fail. And it's all about believing. So are you ready to just expand your belief just a little bit in some area of your life that you may be struggling in? You may not need to know how, and actually you don't need to know how. You just have to be ready, willing, and open to be the hands and feet of whatever is required to have this thing unfold in a way that's really good for you, whatever that might be. It's not a passive activity, this thing about spirituality. And it's probably one of the reasons why those of us who come to Unity are such courageous spiritual seekers, because we don't lean on someone else's beliefs. We're encouraged to believe for ourselves because we know that as we do for ourselves, we get even more reasons to want to do for ourselves, want to believe for ourselves. Every person needs a real life, in-person mentor. And for Luke, it was Yoda. And so who is yours? I'm hoping that it's me on occasion on a Sunday morning. Maybe it's Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, maybe it's Oprah, maybe it's some books that you're reading, maybe it's your grandmother or your mother, maybe it's your child. I have had some of the most profound things said to me by my son when he was a little kid, long before he was really thinking consciously and he was just unconsciously part of spirit, if you know what I mean. Who is your mentor? And I invite you to have someone who not only is on the spiritual path, but believes in you sometimes more than you can believe in yourself. Because that allows for us to rise up to that level of belief. And then we can be that for someone else as well. So think about that. If you don't have a spiritual mentor, maybe you should get one. And it could be Yoda. You could have conversations in your meditation with Yoda. Or maybe it's someone else. Don't look to your mentors as your source of power, though, because no one else is the channel for the power of spirit but you. It's a bit like, what was the movie with E.T. where he's pointing at home? And the thing is that you're not meant to look at his finger that he's pointing at. You're meant to look at what he's looking at and what he's pointing at. And that's the thing with a mentor as well, is they're not your source of power or the source of your wisdom. They are pointing you in a particular direction, hopefully, that allows you to then make up your own mind. Instead, look where they are looking and find your own answers. So I invite you to consider that someone who makes statements that say, this is the be-all and end-all and the only way that it is, thank you for sharing. Because that may not necessarily need to be your reality. Now, I'm not saying in times like this, for instance, with this COVID-19, and there's all this confusion around when should we be gathering publicly, when should we be doing this, that, or the other thing. There is a responsibility to also be wise and have wise counsel, but at the same time, be connected to spirit and know what is yours to do. Consider this. Everything you have been pursuing in the spiritual realm is really the experience of honoring your own deep calling. Have you ever thought about that? So when you've been pursuing spirituality, it's actually your soul's desire to have you know this information, to have you experience it in a personal way. And so your pursuit, your path that you are making clearer and clearer every day is to be able to follow your bliss, your own deep calling, that special nugget that is who you are, that is so unique and has special talents and special desires. You are the hands and feet of spirit in your unique way. And as you put your fears to the side and allow yourself to honor your own deep calling, then that bliss that you may still have a question mark next to starts to become more evident. And maybe it's just being more loving. Maybe it's loving yourself more that allows you to feel that bliss. I don't know what the answer is, but somewhere within you, you do. The key word here now is experience. I can tell you, and here's the phrase, till the cows come home, that it works. But until you have experienced it yourself, it's only words. It's up here in your mind. And it needs to go this 18 inches from here to your heart center, where is the core of where spirit resides, to have that experience. We all have knowledge, but what we need in order to transform is experience. Are you ready? And you don't even need to know what the first step is. In your meditation, in your prayer work, ask, what's my next best step? Show me, guide me, make it so obvious. And I hesitate here because I'm thinking, okay, make it so obvious that it's a cosmic 2x4? No, okay. I'm willing to listen to the whisper, even the talking. I don't need it to be a cosmic 2x4. I'm willing to have it happen gently. And so when I do my prayer work, because I know I get in my own way, there are a couple of things I say. This or something better, because I recognize that I'm still putting myself into a limited space. And the other is to allow it to happen gently, easily, comfortably, joyfully. Ease, joy, and grace. Exactly. Because that then releases those fears. Because if I say effortless, then that is speaking to something that creates an effort, doesn't it? So I've really learned that some of these words have a lot of energy for me. So ease, joy, grace don't have anything that implies any kind of obstacle. So follow your bliss. And if you don't know what that is, you will. Because as you open up to spirit, it shows up in the most amazing ways. You'll find that you're feeling more exuberant. You're wanting to get out of bed or just savor the morning when you wake up in the morning, or you catch yourself just really feeling good about life. You're in that blissful place. And that's so good. So in the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell says, when you follow your bliss, and by bliss I mean the deep sense of being in it, and doing what the push is out of your own existence, it may not be fun, but it's your bliss, and there's bliss behind pain too. Now I think about something like, let's say public speaking, for instance. I was terrified when I was young to public speak. I could hardly breathe. I'd start to hyperventilate at the idea of public speaking. And yet I continued to push through it. I took courses, I did all kinds of things. And now I'm not nervous to speak. Even if I'm not prepared, I have the tools on how to be prepared instantaneously. I've done the work. And it was painful at times to do the work, and it was scary at times. I also think about something like the pain of exercising. I was building rock gardens when I was in my 30s, and I had just met Reverend Randy. And he was happily reading and doing the things he was doing, and I was happily running around with the dog in the yard with a wheelbarrow and moving big rocks and things like that, creating rock gardens. And it hurt, and my body was sore every day. But the thing is, it was such a good exhaustion. It was like I would fall into bed at the end of the day, and I would be so tired I could hardly move. But I had this big grin on my face. Another example is I was learning how to do a wrought iron work, and working with the torches and plasma cutters and all of this kind of thing. It was a 2-week experiment that my husband sent me to because I told him I wanted to do that, and it was a birthday gift. And I remember having to put that big mask on to then light the torch and start doing the work. And you can't see anything when you put that mask on. It's totally black, and it's only when you start the torch that you can see any kind of light in what you're working on. And I remember being terrified, just sweating in my boots as I was waiting for my turn to do the experiment of soldering this one piece. And once I had done it and actually experienced it and moved through the terror, which I would call the pain in that, I spent 2 weeks creating so many wrought iron things that we had to rent a tractor trailer truck from the little town that I was doing this work in. It was about an hour outside of Sudbury, to have everything shipped back home. I had created these windmills with metal hands that went around, and I created a gate for our house, and I did all of these huge projects. But I was in such a blissful state once I had gone through the pain of being afraid. So I invite you to think about that you may think your bliss will just kind of show up and it'll all just be, blissful, blissful, heaven, heaven. It doesn't always work that way. There's work involved, there's pain involved, but it's not the kind of pain that you think. It goes away, and it's replaced by this absolutely amazing, totally encompassing feeling of being one with that which makes your heart sing. So you follow that, and doors will open where there were no doors before, where you would not have thought there were going to be doors, and where there wouldn't be a door for anybody else. That's the key, is you might think, well, no one else has done this. It doesn't matter. It's for you to do, whatever that is. And if you had limiting thoughts about that, are you willing to let them go? And know that your perfect doors begin to open the moment that you're willing to follow your bliss. It takes courage, absolutely, especially to do things you've never done before, or maybe that you failed at in the past. It takes mentors, and it takes supportive friends. And it takes you and your willingness. We can expect to meet challenges of all kinds, both external and internal. That's normal. That's part of the process. That's actually part of what I think makes it worthwhile. If it was too easy, would we be satisfied at the end? Probably not. And that's part of our human nature too. We're here to be challenged and pushed and find out what it is that we like and we don't like. The promise is that you'll be awakened to a deeper spiritual life and a richer human existence. There can be no bliss without facing your deepest fears. There can be no bliss without facing your deepest fears. So write them down. Give them something concrete, and then crumple it up, rip it up, throw it in the garbage, burn it, bury it in the yard. Get rid of it. Let it go however you can. Let it go and allow bliss to start showing up. Have faith in the activity of spirit. And I like that word, the activity of spirit, because spirit, though on its own, actually does nothing but create. Its activity is to create, and you put it in motion by creating a mold for it to fill with that which is yours. The seed of your bliss is planted within you. Guaranteed. You are like that acorn. There is a seed. The acorn is the seed of an oak tree. And that acorn has no idea that it's going to be a 50-foot tree one day. You're the same. The seed of your bliss is within you, like in that acorn and the oak tree. That's why doors open when you follow your bliss. And so if doors haven't been opening, what can you let go of in your thinking that is going to allow you to start to follow your bliss more? Are you ready to be on a mission to do God's will in your life? And I know some of you have energy around the word God, so let's use life. Are you ready to be on a mission to do life's will in your life? Because God is bliss. life is bliss. It doesn't mean that it is void of pain or struggle or challenges. I think most of us actually really like to feel as though we're bumping up against things on occasion just so we know we're alive. It's to what degree are you willing to bump up to those things? And to what degree are you willing to have a balance of the good and the challenge? That doesn't mean it won't be hard and there won't be pain, but all you have to do is follow the awareness of the path. You have something within you that is almost like a divine discontent. And it may be in one area of your life, it may be in all of your life, especially right now as we're being given the opportunity to look at what our life was like and what will it be like when we come out of this isolation. I know Emilio and I were talking this morning before we started about that, and that would he recreate his life the way that it was? And he said, yeah, because he really was living a life that he enjoyed. Now, did he need 2 months of sleep just to catch up? Yes. But the thing is that he was able to, without hesitation, say to me, yes, I would, because I really love doing that, and I love the interaction with people and all of that sort of thing. So you may be in the same spot where you have done your spiritual work to the degree that you are following your bliss generally, and that you are willing to recreate your life the way that it was, if you can. So what's waiting on the other side is truly a good life. And you get to choose what that is. Once you understand what your bliss is, and you commit to using it as your compass, everything changes. And this idea comes from one of my first mentors was Reverend Barbara Schreiner Trudell. And she was the minister at CSL Toronto. And I admired her so much from many standpoints, but one of them was, if I would ask her if I could do something, and it may have been at the church or for her or something like that, she immediately was able to say yes or no with no hesitation. And one day I said to her, how come you don't need to think about that? And she said to me, because I know where I'm headed. I know what I'm looking to experience. And when you ask me, can I do this or that, and maybe it was, could I do a meditation on this or that, or those types of things, she knew right away whether it was in alignment with where she was headed in terms of her vision, her bliss. And if it wasn't, she was very easily saying no. So are you that clear about what makes your heart sing and what doesn't make your heart sing? Are you that clear to be able to say yes or no without hesitation, without fear that you might hurt someone's feelings or that you might miss out on something or whatever? Because as you get more clear, then it does become your compass. And it's really easy then to say yes or no as something comes up for you. And maybe it comes up for you, and because you've let go of your fears, you might say, well, I'll try it. And the thing is, if I don't like it, I can let it go. So there you go. It's a choice. So go within and listen and find the answer, because I don't have your answers. I have statements that I make that hopefully stir something up in you, but you have the answers within. And if what happens to you as I make statements is like I've pushed a button, then to be able to sit and say to yourself, why did this rub me the wrong way? And courting the presence. Are you willing to do the spiritual work that's involved in being able to follow your bliss, whatever that might be? And do you have faith in the activity of Spirit? Do you have faith that Spirit really does have your back, that things always work out for you, that when you set yourself in motion to walk hand in hand with the Spirit within you, that life unfolds in the most amazing ways. Because when you are, then you're following your bliss. And so it is. And Emilio is going to lead us in the power of one.
One of my favorites. Life can be a challenge. Life can seem impossible. It's never easy when so much is on the line. But you can make a difference. With courage you can set things right. The gift to dream and make dreams real is yours and mine. The power of one begins with believing. It starts in the heart, then flows through the soul and changes the world. Imagine how life could be when we stand in unity. Each of us holds the key to the power of one. Each of us is chosen. There's a mission just for you. Just look inside. You'll be surprised what you can do. The power of one begins with believing. It starts in the heart, then flows through the soul and changes the world. Imagine how life would be when we stand in unity. Each of us holds the key to the power of one, and one by one we can make this world a much better place. The power of one begins with believing. It starts in the heart, then flows through the soul and changes the world. Imagine how life would be when we stand in unity. Each of us holds the key to peace, love, and harmony. It's inside of you and me. The power of one.
Yes. And let's roll right into our giving affirmation. From the love of pure spirit in me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And information on how you can give to us and this ministry is at the end of this presentation. So now Daniel Nahmod and One Power. This is another one of my favorites.
Absolutely mine too. Notice the theme, one power. One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in our hearts we're all the same. And we'll remember when we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, the Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power, one power. One power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for its love that's most deep. It's one power. What we are is one. the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power.
And join with me in consciousness for closing prayer. The infinite mind of God fills my consciousness with all I need to live a full and happy life. I follow the guidance. I am peaceful. I release all fear. I am living love. And so it is. And we will send you off to have lunch with this song, I Can See Clearly Now, by Johnny Nash.
Let's dance.
Okay.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day, yeah. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Woo! I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day, yeah. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Woo! I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day, yeah. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. One more time, here we go. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Thank you, everybody, and see you next week. Bye for now. That's a marathon, the last three. It's okay, though, for you?
Oh, yeah.